A man once told me about the day he found out he had known the guy for 15 years. Not just a random guy, actually close guy. Very close guy. The guy who helped him move apartments 4 different times without ever complaining about it. The guy who sat with him in the hospital waiting room when his dad had got surgery, just sitting there because he was a good guy, he was his friend. The guy who was best man at his wedding, this guy was his day one. So when the time came when he needed a partner for his business, real money, real risk, everything he had saved, he had just one guy in mind. And that was his guy. For 2 years, it worked. They built something real, contracts, employees, a name in the business that people in the industry recognized. And through all of this man never looked across his shoulder because he had no reasons to. Why would he? He had a brother without the blood with him on this mission. And while he was narrating this story to me, he stopped mid sentence and he said something very deep and profound. He said the deepest wounds don't come from strangers. They come from people who know exactly where to hit. Then he continued with the story. One day he received an email. It was a wrong recipient. It was forwarded to him by mistake. That kind of mistake that break marriages. That kind of mistakes that makes you start to think about all your life choices. In this email, there were numbers that didn't match what he had been shown. There was a second account he didn't know existed. There were conversations with a competitor dated back almost a year ago. A year. Smiling at him for a year, sitting across the table for a year, nodding along to plans for a future that, on the other side of the table, had already been sold off. And here's the part he told me that struck me the most. It wasn't the money. He built the business once, so he could do it again. What broke something in him was smaller than that, and at the same time, heavier than anything. It was realizing that this man has looked him straight in the eyes several times, knowing what he had as plans, and then knowing what he was doing in his back, and never flinch, even once. And that's the part no one warns you about. Because betrayal is not just an act, it's finding out that someone you trusted a lot was capable of lying to your face without their voice even shaking. And that's the worst thing about betrayal. Not actually losing the person, but it's actually losing the version of you that you believe was safe with that person. And that's where today's truth begins. If you've ever had someone you trusted turn around and show you exactly who they were, you already know what we're talking about. You don't need convincing. Smash that subscribe button because this channel is for men who rather hear the truth, who will stick for the truth, and who condemn lies rather than wait for the truth to be given to them like lessons later on in life. So, if that's you, welcome to the community. Now, let's get into it. Here's something most men don't think about until it's too late. Betrayal requires access. A stranger can't betray you. A stranger does not know your weaknesses. They don't know your relations. They don't know your bank account. They don't know where you live. They don't know your plans. They don't know your soft spots. A stranger can rob you, sure. They can cheat you in a deal, of course. They can annoy you online. That's expected. But that's not betrayal. Betrayal is simply the price you pay for giving someone access to the part of you they promise to protect. And that's why when you are scammed by someone you've never known or you barely know, it doesn't hurt that much. It doesn't hurt that deep. You consider it as one of those bad deals and you move on with your life. But a lie from your best friend, from your partner, from your woman, from your business mate, betrayal from these people can sit deep in your chest for long. And it's not because the damage is bigger. It's simply because the access you gave to them was bigger. You trusted them. So it actually hurts not because of what they did to you, but because of who they were to you when they did what they did to you. And don't get me wrong, because some people will listen to me say this and then take the wrong lesson in believing that you don't have to trust anyone. No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not wisdom, and that's just a slower way of losing. Because a man who trusts no one has already been defeated. The right lesson is simpler and harder. Trust should be earned, not assumed. Access should be given in stages. It should not all be handed in one day because someone made you laugh or someone made you to feel good. Because the men who get blindsided the hardest are the ones who confuse comfort with proven. Now, the second point is uncomfortable, but I want you to sit with it and listen carefully. Some people don't betray you when things are good. They betray you when your value changes. Relationships look strong when everyone is winning. Friendships look solid when nobody needs anything from the other person. Partnerships look loyal when there is enough money on the table for everyone to share. But watch what happens when the value shifts. You get more successful. You get more confident. You stop being as available. You start setting boundaries you never used to set. You stop being useful to somebody the way you used to be. And that's when real discovery sets in. Because you don't always discover who your friends are only when you're struggling. Sometimes you discover them when you stop needing them. And that's when you find out what the relationship was actually built on. Loyalty might survive that shift, but convenience won't survive it. Think about the friend who disappeared right when you started doing better than him. The partner who got quiet right when the business started making real money. The woman who was there for the version of you that needed her, but couldn't stand the version of you that didn't need her. Success exposes envy the same way failure exposes who was never really in it with you. That's why you should never confuse history with loyalty. Someone can have 10 years of history with you and still betray you tomorrow. And before I continue, if you agree with this message and you want to support the mission, consider joining the membership, because members are the ones who keep us going. Continue buying our merch as well. We have very beautiful hoodies and t-shirts and caps and mugs, and just to make people around you know you are opting out without telling them you're opting out. Thank you for supporting. Now let's continue. The third lesson you learn is that betrayal can make a good man become a cold man. And no one talks about this part enough. A man gets betrayed, really betrayed, and something in him quietly says, never again. It will never happen again. So he started building walls around him. He stopped opening up. He stopped asking for help. He stopped fully trusting the next person and the person after the next person. Even the ones who did absolutely nothing to him to deserve that, who don't even know what he had gone through, because he tells himself he's protecting himself. And for a while, it feels like strength. It feels like he's finally learned his lessons. But here's the truth that catches up with him eventually. The person who betrayed him is long gone, moved on with their life completely. Meanwhile, he's still living with the results that person forced on him, still gathered around people who earn better, still measuring every new relationship against the worst thing that happened to him. And at that stage, that's not protecting anymore. That's like handing yourself a life sentence. Don't let one person's betrayal turn into a man who punishes everyone around them, even those who don't even know what happened. And I'm not going to stand here and tell you to forgive and forget. That's therapy speak. And it's not realistic. What I'm telling you is this: you can actually learn the lesson without letting the betrayal become your personality. Those are two separate things. One makes you wiser, another one makes you smaller. And that's why I'm personally telling you that the lesson from this video isn't for you not to trust anyone. Because this is the one that actually matters, and you can write it down if you want. The mature lesson from betrayal should never be paranoia. It should be discernment. There is a difference between trusting someone and then giving someone an unlimited access to your life. And the problem is that most men never learn to separate the two until they get burnt. Trust people, but never outsource your judgment to them. And if you're wondering, discernment is watching what people do, not only what they say, noticing patterns instead of excusing them one more time, not ignoring red flags because the person is fun to be around, keeping your own identity, your own friends, your own finances, your own opinions, even inside your closest relationships. So you're never standing on the foundation that only one person controls. A man doesn't need to be suspicious of everyone around him because it's exhausting, and that's not who you want to become. He needs to become observant. Suspicions assume the worst before anything happens. Observation just pays attention and let people show you over time whether they've earned the next level of access or not. And remember this: forgiveness doesn't require you giving someone the same access they had before. You can forgive, but never ever give them that same access they had before they betrayed you. So no, this isn't about women can't be trusted, friends can't be trusted, or nobody can be trusted. If that's what you walked away with today, then you missed the point. Betrayal is going to happen to you. Maybe it has already happened. Maybe it's happening right now and you don't just know it, because betrayal is unavoidable. No one gets through in life without someone reminding them that. The goal isn't to become a man who never gets betrayed. That's impossible. You can't control people. You can't control what they do or what they don't do. The goal is to become a man who learns from betrayal without allowing that betrayal to destroy the man he was becoming. You can still love people. You can still build with people. You just have to stop handing over unlimited access. You have to start paying attention who had actually earned it. That's what I wanted you to know today. And if you started working on your body, check out my fitness channel. It's all about men's fitness, men's weight loss, men's well being. anything that has to do with you becoming a man again, reclaiming your body and your mindset, go subscribe. And if you're tired of dating and you're thinking of opting out of it for some time or forever, I'll help you make that decision. On the first comment below, there is a free guide. It's called the Opt Out Decision Test. This is not motivation, it's a mirror. It's going to help you decide if you're ready to opt out or not, if you're doing it out of emotions or out of logic. Again, it's free on the first comment below. Now, before you go, tell me below, what's something that betrayal taught you that you wish you had learned 10 years ago? Share your experiences. And don't go without clicking this video on the screen, because here is a continuous learning process. Thank you for being here. See you in the next one. Copy that.